Well, good afternoon and welcome to another video. Now today you find me in the South Lake District doing a long walk called the Kentmere Horseshoe. Now while I'm on this walk I'm going to talk about a couple of things, one of them being sunset photography and the other being a new tripod. But before we get into that, let's try and head further up. So now that I've got to the top and I've found a good spot, what I want to explain is something that I want to do this evening. The light's not here just yet, but I want to try and pinpoint just what I'm trying to do here. So I'm looking towards some hills in the back and I want to look for some layers that are not intertwining too much and that sort of creates some nice patterns. So I've got my 28-200 Tamron. I do have my 100-400 Sigma in the bag, but I want to make sure, well, at least want to try and get this on this lens without having to swap and really narrow in on some of these mountains in the distance. It's still quite bright, as I say, so I'm going to wait until it's a little bit more smoother in the sky. The sun's dips down a little bit because a couple of years back I was at Tarn House and there was a hazy sunset, so the sun was like a big orange ball. It wasn't too bright and I was able to really pick out that sun and all the layers in the sky and create some nice layers in the scene. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to take this shot and then I'm going to move on to the next one. Now what I want to talk about is a piece of new equipment that I've got, which is this tripod. Now when it comes to tripods, there's absolutely tons to look at, and because I'm not professional, I don't do this full time or anything like that, I want to get something that's really good for your money and that's also not going to break the bank and it's really good to take out. Now the brand that I use and what this camera is now on is a K&F tripod. Now this one I've had for probably about 4 years and it only cost me about 50 quid. And in the grand scheme of things, it just sounds a bit daft because the camera equipment that I've got is probably worth 20 times what the tripod is. But I've trusted this and I've used it so much and I've tossed it about, I've taken it on holidays, it's really small and compact and I've always used it. And as I say, it was only 50 quid and I can never sort of justify spending 300, 400 pounds on a tripod. It doesn't make sense to me. But I've finally taken the dive to get something new and invest in some better gear. And this is why I've gone for this new tripod. And once again, it is a K&F tripod. Now, why K&F? I mean, it's a brand that I've kind of followed for a while. They've always been very, very cheap and reasonable. And the equipment that they actually do is actually really good. The filter I've got on my Osmo Pocket are K&F filters. The filter that I use on my main camera, that is another K&F ND filter, variable ND. And I've also got this tripod. This is a carbon fiber one. It stands very tall at about 170 centimeters, so it really does what I want to do. The current tripod that I've got this camera on now, it's about 150 centimeters, and there have been times that I've not missed shots, but I wish I could just be a little bit higher because I wanted some foreground, maybe a little bit lower. I want to enhance some of the background or something like that. And so I've invested in this. But let me know what you think. Do you go for cheaper brands like this? Do you look at really expensive brands like Three-Legged Thing? or Benro, which is another one that I looked at. They're a fairly reasonable company when it comes to price. Let me know what you think. Does anyone else use K&F? But for me, this is brilliant. So loving it so far. So I carried on about a couple of kilometres further on the horseshoe, but I didn't really find any good compositions, any good layers. So I've come back to the same place where I was before, where I had a look at my new tripod. And even now the light's kicking off and I've got some absolutely gorgeous sun stars coming through. And I've stopped my aperture down right down to f16, and it won't go any lower than that when I'm out at 28mm on this Tamron. But I'm panicking a bit because I've only got limited time to get these shots. So I've popped off a few, I'm going to get some more. I'm making a stitch panoramic, and then I think that's probably me done. I'm going to have to head back down because the light is fading quick. So let's get a few more shots, and if you like the shot, then here's a shot. So now that the sun's set and all of the pastely pinks are coming through, I don't really have time to shoot much of that because I'm losing quite a lot of light. I'm about an hour away from the car, so I need to get down. But yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. So an absolutely gorgeous sunset. I've done quite a lot of walking, lots of stopping, because I'm carrying lots of equipment. But I think I set out to do, or at least I achieved what I set out to do in the first place. So yeah, so I'm going to start wrapping it up now. I'm going to head back down, and yeah, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you do enjoy this, please do consider liking or subscribing to the channel. I won't put all of the photos that I have taken at the end of this video. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.